I'm trying to see like she's I don't know. I know I'm Okay, you bring some home?
Exactly.
Neighborhood watch. Okay, well, I'll put it down. I can't think of. Oh, that's nice. I guess that's what you're saying. Exactly. Yeah, I thought I can't do this. Yes.
All right, everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for coming to our first Economic Development Small Business Resource Event. We look forward to having some good discussions and hearing all your inputs. Before we get started, I kind of want to introduce the commission team to you guys in case you guys have questions, concerns. We want to hear it all. We are here for you. So my name is Perla Zapeta. And then we have Leticia Candoval. Do you want to say what you do? Oh, yes. So, Perla Zapeta, Farmers Insurance Agent here in town. I help with all your insurance needs from auto, business, building your home, general contractors, restaurants. We insure it all. And I am a part of the Economic Development Commission. And we here, I feel like I joined because I wanted to see this community grow and thrive, and I wanted to be a part of that. My business is here, so even though I don't live in Sunnyside, my business is here, so it matters to me what happens, how we grow, and how we unite each other as a community and come together as business owners and entrepreneurs. So we have Leticia Sandoval.
Hello, my name is Leticia Sandoval and I'm from Select Insurance and I'm a Sunnyside resident for almost 30 years. So, like my friend said, we're here to help and to see Sunnyside grow and whatever we can do to make that happen. And this is one of the reasons why I joined the commission as well. Thank you.
And we have Brittany Bynum.
Yes, hi, I'm Brittany Bynum with Rise Up Real Estate. I'm a commercial, investment and residential broker or real estate agent. I help you buy or sell any kind of property that you can think of, land, development, restaurant, multifamily, small business, retail. Reason I became a real estate agent is because I was having such a hard time as a small business owner myself, finding a building that actually worked for my business. I own Complete Wellness here in Sunnyside, right across the street from the hospital. And I was leasing for 15 years. And it was just very, very hard to find a agent or a broker that understood my wants and needs. And basically a lot of them didn't really even believe in me to be like, you're gonna buy a building. Like it was just beyond some people's comprehension, but I'm here to show that it can be done. I have lots of resources and amazing lenders, other resources such as my friends with insurance companies. It is possible for you to, one, start a business, two, scale a business, and three, sustain one and let it grow by itself also too. So, yeah, if you have any questions or need any resources with real estate or even starting a business, contact me. I'm on the commission. And yeah, good to see you right here.
And we have Lori Gardner.
Hi, I'm Lori Gardner, and I was born and raised here in Sunnyside. I have a couple different retail stores here in the valley, and I've been in retail for 30 years or more. That was on my age, like such how many years I've been in retail. Anyway, so I have a lot of resources that way too, and I can help with anything you have as far as facade or interior business and how to set it up. And I just can be a wealth of information if you need it. And I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy to be on this committee because I feel like we're helping Sunnyside move into a direction that's going to make us thrive downtown, and I'm just excited about it.
So now I'm gonna hand over the floor to Economic Development Trevor and Sydney DeWine. With the planning department, and they will take over the rest of the event. So thank you again for coming.
Hello. Hello and welcome tonight. Please feel free to stop. We're going to go through kind of a lot of information. Please feel free to stop me and ask questions. We'll have more time at the end to do more of a Q&A at that time. So, like Perla said, my name is Trevor Martin. I'm the Community and Economic Development Director here for the city of Sunnyside. Here with Sydney DeWeese, who is our planner. And to my left here, we have a list of some of the other members that serve on our Economic Development Commission, as well as council member represented by Councilmember Julia Hart. So, kind of jump into the two reasons that we are here tonight. So number one, establishing a comprehensive economic development plan for the city. And then number two is establishing a revolving loan fund for city businesses. So number one, establishing an economic development plan for the city of Sunnyside. So I have not been in my position for an entirely that long of time, maybe 2 years or so. One of the questions that was in my job interview was, what is your plan to kind of define the economic growth and progress of the city of Sunnyside? And one of my answers was actually creating an economic development plan for the city. We need to plan for it. And I'm just one person in my position. It's not my plan. It's not Sydney's plan. It's a little bit of the Economic Development Commission's plan, but it's the city's plan. And we want the city to have input on that and what it means, how we define ourselves moving forward. And what we can do as a community to put that together and help us grow into the future. And then number 2 is establishing a revolving loan fund. The city's bound by a lot of different laws and things that we can do and can't do. One of the things that we can do is part of the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. The city was given a little over $4 million to invest in different city resources. A large chunk of it was used on improving the jail and the police station, some stuff, other stuff around the city. It's one-time funds. It's one-time funds that we got from the federal government, and we have to invest those, and we want to do it in a smart way. My department was given about $450,000 of that, give or take a little bit. And the city thought, okay, this is a one-time opportunity, and let's do something that a lot of communities around the state, around the nation have done, and see if there's a gap or a need in the community where we can kind of just give it back, work with businesses, existing businesses, new businesses, maybe fill a gap, fill a need that is missing. You know, we'll jump a little bit more into that in a little bit. So, moving on to the economic. So first things first is we're going to talk about the economic development plan. So, the economic development plan, we want it to be ideally a document that the city's council, the city boards and commissions, and the people of the city can point to and be like, this is where we want to go. We're proud to have this. This is where we want to go. How do we get there? What steps can we take to get there? We know that Sunnyside is a really strong ag community. We know that we have a really strong ag base, and we know that we have generally a pretty strong workforce overall. But there's other things that go along with that. How do we improve on that ag base? How can we build upon it? How can we create job mobility, not only laterally, but vertically? How can we get on-the-job training? How can we help the people of the community to advance, to help improve their lives, their families' lives, and the lives of everybody around them? So that's kind of one of the things that we want to do, kind of work through with the Economic Development Commission and this plan. So a big part of this plan, let's hope that this thing is picking me up. A big part of this plan is doing what's called a SWOT analysis. So a SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And we can look over on the wall to my right over here. There's a couple sheets hanging up. But it's really kind of breaks down this. So this is really the first part into putting together this plan. So when we take the community concerns, the community ideas, thoughts, and opinions, and kind of combine them, that will give us somewhat of a roadmap on what we need to address. So the first thing is strengths. What positive things do we have that other towns maybe don't? What positive things can you think of when you think of Sunnyside? Weaknesses, where are the areas to improve? Everything can be improved. Opportunities, what are things that are not being taken advantage of? Maybe other gaps. And threats, what are things that could happen to you, your business, the city, the overall general economy? What are the things that we can do to help insulate ourselves a little bit that we can kind of plan for? And maybe once something bad happens, we don't trip as hard, we don't fall as hard. No, I'm going on the same thing here. Okay, so what I have before you, so we're going to do a little activity between everybody here. So see, there's some pieces of paper and some pens on the table before you. So we don't have anybody at your table, but I'd like to talk to the people around you at your table, or if you have any ideas, please write them down on a piece of paper. I'm going to go over some that the Economic Development Commission put together, and then I want you all to talk amongst yourselves a little bit. Maybe go slapping on the piece of paper over there. And I'll go over there and we can talk about them as a group, and if we want to approve, change, add, we can certainly do that. So just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Hopefully you can read that okay. So just some general strengths about the city of not city of Yakima, Yakima County, about the city of Sunnyside. We're the second largest city in Yakima County, behind Yakima. We're centrally located, right off Highway 82. Logistically, we're in a pretty good spot. We got some assets there. Weather, overall, we have pretty good weather. There's a few hot months, a few cold months, but overall, it's not a bad spot. Strong egg base. We have a lot of farms, a lot of farm-related industry here. We have an active port district, diversity, job market, and a revolving loan fund, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Weaknesses, lack of businesses. Sometimes there might be gaps in our community where we might have to go to Tri-Cities or Yakima to get what we're looking for. Business retention. If a business grows up and they don't see a need to stay here anymore to succeed, how do we get them to stay? Perception of crime. Is Sunnyside a dangerous place? What kind of crime is taking place? Is the crime negatively affecting your business? Homelessness, recreational activities, and family and adult activities. So those things all kind of go hand in hand. We know that Sunnyside is a young community. We know that a lot of people here have kids and they're getting ready to have kids. Where do they go? What do they do? What do they do between the ages of, 1 and 4? So childcare, we know that the childcare industry has been absolutely rattled over the last 3 to 4 years. So how do we help improve that a little bit? Are there ways to do that? Business literacy, lack of housing, and communication barriers. So if we kind of go like this, like strengths can be threats and opportunities can be weaknesses, or weaknesses can be opportunities. Opportunities. Promoting businesses and financial literacy, fostering community and business partnerships, a Main Street program. We'll get into that a little bit, but we're not allowed. So this is something we're not allowed to have a Chamber of Commerce. So how do we work around that? The city can't really do a lot of the things that a Chamber of Commerce can, but we can do something like a Main Street program, which can pick up where a Chamber of Commerce may be left off. Expanding work with economic development partners, creating business classes, easy access to nonprofits. We have a lot of nonprofits here that have a lot of resources for everybody. And that's kind of why we're here today, is to kind of promote those, kind of point you in the right direction of what they can and can't do for you. Room to expand. We got a lot of room out there. We can expand. Adjacent activities and jobs, an egg convention center. That's something that kind of makes sense in this area. Encourage community activities, again, revolving loan fund, and beautification of property. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. And then threats, businesses moving out of Sunnyside, lack of housing once again. And community is not always connected to resources. Apathy. Nobody's doing anything about it. Why should I? What do I get out of it? I think that's something that's not only here in Sunnyside. That is a valley-wide issue. There's whole idea of apathy and getting people to take interest in their community again and kind of step forward. And then lack of volunteers. Maybe there's not a lack of volunteers, but maybe there's a lack of volunteer coordination. Maybe there's a couple other things that surround that a little bit. Maybe these apathy and lack of volunteers tie into each other. So that's something that we as the commission have discussed several times, and something that we're going to be working into this plan as we move forward. So what I would like for everybody here to do is just kind of talk amongst yourselves and kind of brainstorm some other ideas. Because we'll put those here and they will make their way onto this list as we go forward. I plan to have a couple more development meetings community economic development meetings as we go forward. So these things, you'll see them in future materials. So I will turn it over to you for the next 4 minutes or so.
Check, 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 check. Yeah, okay.
Has it been,
Hmm?
has that been?
I think so.
Good.
Stop.
So why not? Like, other, like, Yeah, I agree.
And then if you have a few and you want to go and slap them up on the sheet of paper. Really please.
Nice. Yeah, this is that we don't own. I know it's almost. It's. So. Yeah. So I went to school and he this.
It's on Zoom, yeah. I have no idea. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. That's what we should promote.
Okay. So mosey on over here and I'll kind of read some.
Okay, we're to this, okay, so.
Right down. Okay, yeah.
Strength, so we put like title it like strengths and then.
So there's the words are up.
Oh, okay.
Up there, so just little ideas or verbal blurs.
And then if you want to go over and put those up on the wall, we would really appreciate it. Thank you.
We know where they're going. And if anybody thinks, if you think of more throughout this, please feel free to jot them down, come and take them up here. So I'm gonna kind of talk over here for a minute, so hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm gonna kind of go through what some of the group has talked about and kind of go from there. So some of the strengths that we've come up with is build on the Jerry Taylor Memorial. I think that's a great idea. It's a really, it's a really cool memorial that the city has, and something that needs to be taken advantage of. I think it's a little bit fuller capacity. Diversity. A lot of diversity in Sunnyside, a lot of diversity in the valley. That's something that's definitely a strength of our community and something we can capitalize on. The strength, sense of pride for supporting local businesses. That's I would 100% agree with that. Yes. Yeah. Great location. Yeah. Sunnyside is in. I mean, we're right between two big cities where we got a really good spot here that we can build upon and capitalize on. Ag industry location. Yeah, we have a very strong ag base in the community. Having a strong ag base is really important because ag communities are generally recession proof. Well, one of the downfalls of ag communities is that vertical drop. How are we able to bring in more supporting industries that help with that vertical drop? Inclusiveness and diversity is a really good one. Tight community, growing town, long-time residents, lots of land to grow. Absolutely. And we have our own newspaper. So I think that's something that's really not a lot of communities have, and something we should definitely take note of. Some weaknesses: lack of unity and business engagement. I'm hoping that we can build upon this a little bit, but yeah, there's a little bit of weaknesses there. Lack of tourism. That is something here. Again, we're kind of in the heart of wine country, top country. And if we don't want that, we have we're dairy country. Dairy Gold used to have an ice cream shop. That's not there anymore. There's these little things that can pull people off the highway that can bring them into our community a little bit. Low wages and lack of quality jobs. Kind of just mentioned that a little bit. Lack of education after the city inspection. Right. Yeah, that's something we're trying to address. Yes. All requirements. Okay, so all requirements, codes, and rules established to start a business make it too complicated. So yeah, this is something that we definitely need to address a little bit. Now it's something that's we're trying to address as a city as a whole is the navigation of building codes and city permitting. That's that's important to me. That's something we need to do, and something that we need to make a little bit easier through the entire process. Business diversity, one majority, one needs. The weaknesses, lack of builders and lack of city planner to follow through the development. We talked about that just a second ago. But the lack of builders, that's something that we talked about a little bit earlier, is we need housing. And how we have some, we have some big ones, some small ones, but we need, more input, I think, from, more builders in the community. That's something that, yes.
I actually got a question, I'm gonna take trouble on the construction there.
Uh-huh.
So, a lot of our buildings are going out. Or,
Yeah.
due to that, our market here is being hit lower. Our taxes are lower, so they want to pay less. So they go towards that, they need to go on the county. You pay way higher than. So that's why you have no buildings in the valley. There's buildings are here, but they're going out, you know, they build somewhere else. So on one of my notes, that's one of my weaknesses. Keep our contractors here, keep our.
No, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, if you keep money local, it tends to be invested locally. So that spending money outside, it goes.
Well, we have, as a general contractor, when I have two sets of prices. I have my lower valley price, and I have my tri-city price.
Sure.
My tri-city price can be way more.
Yeah.
So we bring my money.
Right, exactly. I know.
So my thing is, another thing is when winter comes, we live in a nice community. It is a bigger community here in our lower valley. But for Seattle, that year round, it doesn't matter if it rains, snow, whatever, money involved.
Yeah.
But city did that. Here in the valley, my main stuff that I do is remodel. I do a little bit of reconstruction, but my base is remodel. So when the community shuts down because of the winter, we have the homeowners that hunt down their money to make it through the winter. From spring, folks, now, my season is coming in.
Right, yeah.
My season is coming in because we're coming out of the winter, so everybody has $20,000 left from their emergency.
Yeah.
So now, from spring, now I'm making them here. When I say it, or what she had. And
Yeah,
so those are weaknesses that I see here. But the tax bracket had a big difference as well. So when I say tax bracket, when I can come here, I can go to this is, my, I can go to home and get ready. Or I can go to Ideal Local and buy my own little where I can get. They those businesses that they get 10%. I can buy my product here, but I still take it, in fact, you know, for alcohol. So, in my perspective, I have to hustle everywhere else before I do. That's good.
right. That's,
I want you to stay here.
yeah, no, that's a big concern. Yeah, that's an absolute big concern right now. It's how do we improve that? That's why I'm glad we came tonight, because I want to get, I'm not gonna do it by myself. I need you to tell me that, so I can go back to these guys and go back to the council members and let them know that that's those are the concerns.
I just see that you touched on it,
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know when I'm gonna be able to tell you that wrong.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But, so yeah, that's, when I. Banks, they see that, and they want to get that, when they contact you, and people that are here. Which I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm not in the ball. I'm not. And the banks here, ain't giving me money. So I'm stuck, I can't get money here, I can't get money over there, because I'm not playing big ball, I'm playing small ball, but the small ball that we make for that, no. So that makes it part of the music. And my role. That's why I wanna know, where can I go get some money?
Sure, sure, yeah.
Who put the work in, but where? The banks are ready to go. You have to have the money. And if there's more business on around here, and I'm pretty sure it's more than people, are small business. That's why.
And are you self-employed? So that's another hurdle to navigate as well, so yeah.
So, you know, I gave you, I had this all on, you know. You know, they say they don't have a apartment. Chip into their, now, you're one of the preferred. So, they told me,
Yeah.
so the government taking money, all the other people, which is the problem, because my work proceeds in my what I don't need somebody marketing and targeting, so then this is for this. And you just give all me, hey, Bob, are you available? Yeah. And I didn't know this until I started, I didn't know, you know, this is a big company. But every time they say to a house, this is a potential. Well, they try at all. And that's that, I'm not guaranteed about, I'm here you $110 for a $10,000 dog. Like, yeah, I'll get you all day. But, if I do, but if I don't get, well, this week, I'm gonna do for one thing. So it's called,
Yeah.
so they charge me, you run a net. And they got you on this net, and they send you out 5 times. In a day, or 5 times a week. If I don't go in, already, 5 clubs.
Yeah.
And you get none of the job. So where does that leave you?
$500 behind, yes.
So is it fair for me to want to pay them, you market my business? No. My work sheet for itself. So all my job come from, I did a job for her anyway. You know what I mean? I was a big job. Hey, you want to take this and do it? I have to tell you, you did a job, I was a job. That's all my business is. So I was paying over the better, this is for all that. But for $60 a month. We'll put you on our preferred list. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not it. So, what do we supposed to do? They'll give you money.
No, thanks, give them, yeah.
So, it takes money to make money. What, in that aspect, it takes money, you can. So, I'm down with that, like I said, I'm down with it. Go into work, and I pay you your fee.
Yeah.
But if you throw me somewhere, and I'm just gonna go knock on the door, and mind you, I'm in my birthday, I go and knock on the door. And you follow, I get big. But when I feel that also, and they see me, like, oh. They want to, and it's all in my head, I'm not telling them to the person.
Yeah.
So, you know, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because I dress just like everybody else, like I'm a rose, like a flower, I wear flowers, I didn't know, the only thing I can tell you, I only thing I put down. What? I look at the average stuff. Oh, it's good. So it's always, I think the previous, different, nationality. And it opens up. The part of me, role. And this valley, we are told the earth. It's okay. But when I head for start leaving the gallon, so tomorrow. So I have to have, I got another guy in. Okay. Well, he goes with it. So they let me in the door,
Yeah.
and then they made me, but that's how I have to do it.
Did you bring the business cards with you?
I did it.
I gotta get your information. Do you want your information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read somebody.
Oh.
So, kind of. Reading back what we talked about, people are usually going to start city, they're not gonna spend money on businesses that are not around here.
Yeah.
It should be good to find ways to bring money from out.
Yes.
So an example for your business that I'm just kind of spitting out idea would be building, making more buildings, to rent to businesses that want to open like kind of flash pads, barbers and stuff like that. That's what buying is. Well, that's what I see mostly around here, some of the.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Well, my daughter's hairdresser, she owns a shop in Grandview, and it's hard for her too, you know, so she's here and I'm here. So she's here on a different kind of business, but my business is, so I give it to her.
Also would be, you get a lot of people calling you from Tri-City. There can also be a way that you can show them that this is a good community for them to make their buildings, but. Well, a lot of people always look for jobs. A lot of people always have a place that are actually, a lot of people get jobs. And a lot of, this community is a lot of, once people get paid, they will spend their money like they go get their haircut, they go get their jobs, they go buy themselves a new car, go to magic and stuff like that. So that would also be another, I'm just kind of figuring out on top of it.
It's great discussion.
Because I brought that up because there is a big lot that was purchased. I don't know if anybody heard it, with Meadows, they're building a bunch of double wide trees. And they're from Alabama, so they saw something in this community that they can see they can invest their money in. They're looking to like 80 some, 90 some houses. So they saw something in this community that made sense.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is, just, it is so cheap to build in our community. That's why a lot of people want to come and build here, because it doesn't cost very much, as much as over there or in Seattle. Your revenue here is way different than what they have over there. So, for instance, the people that came from Alabama, they came to build here. Obviously, because the land is cheaper, the product is probably cheaper to them, or if it's not, with companies like that they will just ship their business. So they have their people they work with, like for wood or whatever, they buy direct. They don't even buy from a dealer. They just go direct.
One of the big businesses like that too, they're also self-financed, so they self-finance all their capital projects, so they can borrow against themselves at their time.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's-
kind of what they're doing whenever we're trying to buy one of those houses, we have to get it from them, and they really want that funding to build the home. But also building more offices for businesses and also promote people to come live here, so they can open a business here, move here, or building more homes would promote people over to live here to work around. So you can just kind of split all in.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all interconnected. Yes, this is very good. Okay, I'm gonna jump back into this now. Thank you, these are all really good points, and then we need to have these conversations, because again, I am just one person, can't do it all, so I need your information as we go forward. Going back to here, housing collaboration beautification. So that's something we're actually going to pick up on pretty soon as the spring rolls around. We have an idea for some beautification awards around Sunnyside, and we're really excited to get that project started. Another weakness is safety and security. That's up here a couple of times. Again, we know some businesses. We had some here that were put here earlier. They've had some break-ins in the past. They've had some vehicles vandalized. We know that there's some issues surrounding that, so that does impact our business community quite a bit. Smell, lack of community involvement, and people speaking up and giving their input. There is a nickname for Sunnyside. I don't really like to repeat it all that much. But that's something we need to address in the future as we go forward. But it's most of that industry is located in the county. There are things we can do about it. Community involvement, that ties back to that apathy piece a little bit, and volunteerism. So, we want the community to be involved. We want them to see a reason to get involved, and, that's something we can definitely improve upon. Weaknesses, taxes, workers, as we kind of just discussed here. Activity for kids and youth, yes. Let's see here, lack of chamber of commerce, that's something that I'll touch on in a little bit. Lack of people with experience wanting to educate on what they've done in certain steps of permitting businesses. I think that's what it says. Yes, so yeah, it said that business collaboration, that business literacy is what I'll call it. There's definitely ways to help us improve on that. Lack of participation, large population. Yeah, partnering with the Hispanic Chamber, education to businesses, and events in the community. Yes, that is something that we could definitely capitalize on here. How or what are big businesses doing to invest back into our community? Is there something when being permitted that states business has to invest in Sunnyside? Yes. So this is an excellent point that's been brought up, and that's something that I think we think of the egg industry in particular. Is the egg industry is huge here. We have Yakima Chief Pops, we have dairy rolls, just those two alone are empires of themselves. No, we should be working with them. We should be able to go to them and say, hey, Sunnyside wants to build a convention center. We want to, at the very least, we want to construct a dog park or something like that. Kick in a few bucks, get back to a good deal with it. So that's something we all work on. That's something that does need to be captured a little bit better. Opportunities, literacy and language barriers. Yes, I would love to be more bilingual. Spanish is, so, but I would love to, and I think that's something that there's lots of opportunity for that here. Development of a theme. So this is something that our Economic Development Commission has talked about. So Leavenworth has their Bavarian theme, Hawkinich has their Wild West theme. Is there something that we want to do with Sunnyside? How do we want to beautify the city? We want to pull people off the highway? That's something we want to do. Look forward to. I think that's a good idea. City park and pool upgrade. Informational meetings, funding, opportunities for housing. Opportunities with the wine and hop industry. And opportunities for more jobs and new businesses. Again, we're a diverse community, so there's always opportunities out there. We just have to know where to invest and then threats, gangs, traffic, and then again, the advocate. And this something about the gangs and the traffic. So if anybody has time in the future and has a chance to get down to the police station, you should really talk to them about the Fox system that's been put in place. That Fox system, it's a camera, it's a license plate identification system, holds data for 30 days, but it's been really valuable in tracking cars and criminal activities. So it's been a really good tool. There's still a lot that needs to be done in that round, but Sunnyside has taken a few good steps forward on remedying some of that. So but there's more to do. Okay, definitely great. Thank you.
So as we kind of jump forward here into these things.
Excuse me.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sorry. These are curious because, I'm talking about, my business in downtown, right? I don't know if that's another business owner of downtown over here, but, we have serious problem with the parking on the downtown. What the city, trying to do to improve that situation? We understand that we got a problem right now with we got a several beauty salon downtown. Got a beauty schools and we got a lot of beauty salons, right? And they take up a long time, you know, so some customers stay there for 4 hours, 6 hours. You know, on my understanding, that's some municipal code about the parking in the downtown. But I would like to know why the city do not enforce, you know, the municipal code or whatever exists right now. And we need the parking, you know, we need the city create a more free parking in the downtown. You gotta some to local spot, you know, where the city can build parking or simply, you know, enforce the municipal code.
Yeah, that's been a hot topic of discussion in our meetings, and there's a couple things out there that's a little bit more. So I'll just kind of throw it out there. So if we enforce one, we enforce all, which means we know everybody's spot. We don't play favorites, anything like that. So if you have somebody who's at the salon and they stay too late in the salon and we end up pouring their coffee, it's one of those things that we have down to kind of probably a good way to balance it.
And then, yeah, because that would bring in revenue and then you just put it to.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of, I mean, we have the land cap and so it's not, the port owns the gravel lot, the city has the park. But
You're gonna do the sign, it's for the free parking to encourage people to use that free parking like behind or with it.
There's a lot of things that you guys can do.
Yeah.
You know, that's why this meeting it is.
Yeah.
That's not a big problem for the downtown business.
yeah,
And the city needs to do something. You know how much taxes we pay, right? So we're trying to make a business for the city to, you know, to keep to keep your salary. You know? So that's why we are here, because we have a problem. So it's important, it's really important, you know, that you guys need to take the action.
okay, yes. Okay. I hear you on that, yeah, so. Seems to be. There's a lot more than that, especially after this past week, there's a little bit more of that question that we need to. I won't be able to answer that question tonight, unfortunately.
No, I understand. But you know,
Yeah,
we got more than 3-4 years fighting with this issue, you know. We got the gentleman right here, so I had that conversation when he was mayor, you know, and he know what I'm talking about.
no, I know what you're talking about too, we've towed cars that have been abandoned in that area, we towed one about a month ago, that I was sitting down there for a couple of months, and it was abandoned, and I didn't know, so I couldn't contact the person and no call back, so we ended up dealing with that. But yeah, it's a big question. So I understand.
Is there anybody turning down? Like as far as I can say, they're there for over 3 hours, can they scan the claims, give them a call?
So there's,
Who's running the over there?
so there's a couple things to that, I mean. We live in the, okay, if you want me to, I'll go into depth on this question a little bit, so there's a little bit loaded to that, city cannot park cars, we can't park cars. So if we go out and sell somebody, we take note and take a visual picture of the car. And we say, okay, you took the picture, it's 3 o'clock, move it, make it full, one space forward, and that's considered ridiculous. So there's a lot more that's involved.
in this than simply saying, get out of here. Yeah, so it's, and then if they just move forward and take it done, they come back and say, well, ooh, my car was here, now here, I'm challenged with that, and now we have to go to court, the city's paying prosecutors fees, judges fees, and they spend, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 later, and they walk away, going to move my car one state for another, so it's kind of a loaded question. So, I think one of the best solutions is honestly, I think that's one of the best solutions. But again, it's not my decision, it's a decision that, maybe we can bring the council at a future study date or some study session. Yes.
It sounds to me like enforcing the parking is, you know, it has a lot of weight to it, so maybe adding parking, extra parking might be a solution for now.
Where would we at? That's my big question
Like
too.
just the parking lot, I'm not sure if there's an area where it's just a parking area in the middle of this, you know.
There's two on 7th Street.
Yeah, there's.
That cross roads. Like, kind of talking about, like, if I count these park.
So that's owned by the Port of Sunnyside. And that's their property to do with what they want, and we've asked them for parking, and besides special events, they don't want. That's the property.
I just made it big old rally and just.
I mean, you can do what you want.
The port has a lot of surcharge. You know, and then when you put the contact on the front, I think a lot of big restaurants.
So, but these are all. Before we go, but these are all really important things as we move forward, because parking does play into economic development of the downtown. That's definitely something that's true. So there's a balance there that we have to find, and I mean, I'm glad you bring it up tonight, and that's something. I mean, I don't know how many times TC brought it up to me, but it's something we do need to address as we move forward. Okay, so we're gonna move into part 2 tonight, which is why I think some of you are here. It's our business plan and our business plan and revolving loan fund portion of the presentation. So we have a couple handouts for you tonight. The thing with where we are, there's a ton of resources in this area, a ton of resources for businesses to connect to, and we have some handouts. Please take as many as you want. If you want extras, let me know. I can get some prints, some duplicates made. I'm happy to do that for you. And we also have some people with us tonight that are good at this kind of financial literacy stuff. We have somebody from the National Financial Literacy Campaign with us tonight. She's here to serve as a resource, to talk about investments, and you have some money, what do you do with it? What's a nice, good step to do with something like that? So over here, I have some information for you. I have some business plan basics that I printed out, and then here I have the small business guidance packet from Washington State. This kind of goes in depth on what are the next steps to take starting a business. What you need to do. And then I have a little handout from OIC of Washington. So OIC of Washington has a specific program, and a specific BIPOC program. Again, I am who I am, but so I don't know all of the different situations everybody else is facing in their lives, but OIC has different trained professionals to work with different families and business owners as they get started, and creating the next step in business and financial literacy. When dealing with the city, there's really one big thing that depending on what it is that you're doing, one big thing that we kind of want you to have in place, and that's your business plan. As we go forward and you're thinking about what you're doing, applying for your business license is one of the first things you should be thinking about doing. Thinking about if it's a home location or a commercial location, and then proceeding. So to fill out a business license, it's the Department of Revenue of the state, ur.wa.gov, and on the first page, it says, on one of the pages, says, get business license. Click that, just follow the steps. That's the first thing that we would want to see as we move forward. Oops. Okay, I think I had a screen up of what that looked like. So here it is, Department of Revenue, get or renew business license, just on the front page right here. That's one of the first things you'll want to do as you move forward. Okay, so stop share and then start share again. Hold on one second, some technical difficulties. Perfect. Okay, so moving into what the city is doing right now. So as I mentioned earlier, the city got a small allocation of ARPA funding, and it's a one-time kind of deal. So that's kind of why we're here. It's a one-time deal that we thought, what would be a better way to do this than to make some sort of funding opportunity available to the community. So we thought of the best thing to do, because it's a one-time deal, is to make some sort of really low interest loan program. Since we're only getting the money one time, we want to be able to recapture it. And any sort of interest that we make off of this program will then go into future grant opportunities that will then go back into the community for things like beautification, aesthetics. Maybe we have a facade program, something like that, or maybe we can put it towards residential housing, public residential painting, maybe it's a window program, something like that. That will use any sort of interest we capture from this loan program. So in discussing and setting up this program, one of the things that we came up with is there's really two different categories. More established businesses and new businesses. We really wanted to focus on new business friendly and be able to provide something to those businesses. So we split it around 5 years. We have 3 different tiers. We have a 1-year tier, which is a 1% interest rate. We have a 2 to 3-year tier, which is a 2% interest rate, and then we have a 4 to 5 year, which is a 3% interest rate, and that's what we cap on. We're not here to get rich on this. We're not here to make a ton of money off of this. We're here to provide some sort of gap funding situation where, say, a business needs a new piece of equipment, say they want to upgrade something on their facility, something, or you can start a new business, or even something is like advertising. You want to use this sort of, we've made it really flexible for your business, and we can invest in it, or you can, make it easy to invest in your business. And then we're very flexible on the terms. So if you say, okay, it doesn't have to stick to the 1 or 2 or 3%. We're flexible. We're flexible depending on the situation. We're reviewing each one of these applications on an individual basis. We'll bring in the applicants, talk through their business plan with us, and we'll make a recommendation to council, our city council, on here's what was presented, here's their business plan, here's what they have lined up, here are the business repayment, or their loan payments, and we'll move forward with it. Council's the final decision maker, and any sort of money that's lent out to the public. So that's the goal with this, is to fill a need and fill a gap that we've kind of identified with that.
Trevor, did you mention that the proceeds from the interest is going to evolve to the next round? So we're going to continue to
Yeah.
help more businesses down the road, not just give it all out, because Grandview, they did that with their fund. They gave it out, which is great, but once that money's gone, it's gone.
It's gone forever.
So that's why we're trying to like be smart and like, okay, how can we help the next generation after that?
Yeah, we want to be able to send it out, recapture it, take that little bit of interest, whatever it might be, use that interest for grants, that way we can kind of keep sustaining it all. Really get the out of this.
Promote new businesses and help the other ones fail.
So that's, I kind of explained this earlier, but we have some paper applications here. We have online applications. Once you complete an application, you would submit it to me or Sydney. And we would then forward it on to the Economic Development Commission. They would review it, bring in the applicants, vet the application, and then forward it on to City Council for any sort of further decision-making process. And then just some basic materials of what we do need as part of this business plan, and that's kind of why we have our resources here today. Business plan, balance sheet, projections, finance statements, personal credit reports, some tax returns, schedule of debts, current or proposed lease, and then key cost documents. If there's a reason you can't get one of these documents, or if there's a reason that something is outside the norm of one of it, that's also why we designed this program, because we do want to be flexible. We do want to encourage people to continue their business, to maybe invest in their business. So this is something that we have the ability to be somewhat flexible. And then there was one other thing I was going to say, but I completely blanked on it. No. Okay. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me. Okay, so that's kind of all I have right now. I have more time for Q&A. If there's any more questions from the audience.
Submit an application, from talking to Dennis, what's like the time frame that might be looking at?
So we want to get these things in and out within a month. So quick, so into me, into our commission within a month, and then maybe within the next month up for the council. So 2 months and all of this kind of, I don't really want to say anything.
So deadline for applications.
Oh yeah, so that's part of it too. So since this is a revolving loan fund and it is a set pool of money, once we have lent it out, we've lent it out. And that's kind of one of the drawbacks from it. Until we collect some back, we have to close it and then we'll allow it. So right now we have 2 applications that have both applied for a total of $75,000. So we have 251, 175 left sitting. So
And then the end of the year, this should be.
yeah, so we have to the end, end of the year to kind of figure it out.
Who's your deadline for the application from all people?
No, so it's kind of first come, first served, yeah, so.
I will say that during our last Economic Development Commission meeting, there was talk of getting a pool together, so meaning that instead of having people submit applications one at a time, and approve them, we want to have almost kind of like a pool, so say the deadline is maybe every 2 months, and we review those applications, just so then we don't favor one because somebody got it put in for before, and then somebody has really great business plans, and we don't have any more funds to give them. So we are still kind of fluid on that, and I think at our next Economic Development Commission session, we're gonna have like a final stamp of that process. But because it is so new, we still wanted to give it out to people. So that's kind of what we're discussing a little bit, but.
To just.
Yeah.
So the goal of this is, and overall, I think we've had a pretty good turnout. Just a second. So so what we want to do in the future is to bring some more of our partners in the Valley. We want to bring in OIC, bring in WorkSource, bring in Inspire, bring in those different partners that have a role to play with employment and that have a role to play with grants and funding. We want to probably do that this spring and just pack this place with those partners. Yes. Question.
I was just gonna ask, what are you doing, to eliminate bias in the selection process? Are you, in case somebody from the judges are familiar with the businesses, that are in there, are you Xing out the business names and just looking at the application, or?
No, we're not, so, okay, I remember my thing from earlier too, so to kind of go along with that, so. The application is reviewed by our Economic Development Commission. And then it is forwarded on to our city council. So there's two different levels of vetting that go on, and we will forward that entire application on to our city council. So they have an opportunity to review it, to make sure that our decision we made is fair and balanced. Because like, at the end of the day, they're the ones who control the money in the city. So they'll go out with recommendations from staff, and that's gonna be a definitely big part. And the part that I forgot, that I remember now, is that all applications, all tax sensitive, all of that information is confidential. So the only thing that you would be able to see if there was a public records request is an application and what they submitted it for, a general idea of what who submitted it and what they submitted it for. So there's not going to be any sort of in-depth details on financial background or anything like that. That is all protected information in the state bank.
What are most common reasons people get a loan for the business? What are the most common?
So a couple of them. So is diversification of cash flow. That's one because different businesses have different needs and different requirements. So you don't want to be too grant heavy, too loan heavy, too liquid heavy. So it's a diversification of cash flow that helps.
So open a business doesn't work only on its income, on what it brings in.
On only one source of income. So for example, again, it's because they submitted an application, but I won't get too far until we've done it, but say something like an adult family, something like that, or a hospice facility or a nursing home or something like that. They have a lot of different income sources, whether it be grants, donations, the fees that they charge, for the residents that are there. So to diversify that cash flow, so they're not relying only on donations this month and the heavy, they're light on grants 1 month and they're heavy on donations 1 month. So to diversify that cash flow and other banks. Another one would be equipment. If you own a restaurant, you need a new stove. You're a healthy business, but you really don't want to take a big chunk out of your savings and something like that. So there's something like this where you can pay it back over the course of 3 years and allow it's something you could fill a gap on. Or it's just something like a facade improvement, something that you maybe just don't want to bear the cost of. So that's something or advertise, even things like advertising, just things like that.
The biggest benefit is the interest rate, because try to look at a loan somewhere else now, talking 6-7%.
Yeah.
Here, it looks like the max would be like 3%. Well, it says 5 back there.
It says 5, but
It's still a lot lower than you can get at a commercial lending place.
yeah, and we're not here to compete with banks at all. We have a very limited funds. We're not here to compete with banks. It's just a different type of. It's supposed to be a different type of cash flow.
She wants to know how the fund works, as in if she is in the fund for the business, how will she pay it back? Whether you put her in interest, would you have a certain amount of time to pay it back? Or how that works?
Yes.
So, that is here, so yes, it is all involved. This is a long package. So on page, let me tell you here. Page 2. Of the application, it has the desired terms and conditions at the bottom. So it would be a loan, and ideally, we would want that loan to exceed a 5-year time frame. But again, it's supposed to be extremely flexible, so, and we want to work with, individuals, so 1 year at 1%, 2 to 3 year at 2%, 3 to 4 year at 3%. If we wanted to do something and extend it out to like a 5-year, then that's why I would cut that out. Yeah, if you wanted to go a little bit longer, you can work that out. Correct. No, so this is, so basically, if you're together a plan in which you want to use the store equipment, you're allowed to use whoever you want to use. Yeah, this is part of your business operation. I'm not here to control your business operation. I'm here to just fill a small gap that you can do the best of it. Yeah. Other questions? Anything else? So, like I said, if you have somebody from our international compliance campaign here, if you want to talk with her, you can. We have some other people in this room that are specializing in other things, like Brittany was talking about, Leticia was talking about real estate and insurance. So I'm going to kind of just leave it to you over the next 5-10 minutes. If you want to network a little bit, talk to some of our commission members. If you have any other questions of me, please feel free to come ask me, and I'll do the best I can to answer. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
I know. But I would like. And then.
There.
I didn't see why I was so much.
No, yeah.
You know, I think Okay. Okay, I have like. That probably. So kind of. Okay, I got. So long that I residential. Yeah. Yeah. It's been hard. I'm kind of like, so much time is very, finally opening my head. I feel why I call it, that's because. And that's kind of, and I hadn't. And I'm like. And I had. Yes. Oh my gosh, it doesn't change. Like the dinner. Yeah. Yeah, there's like a lot of, so there's a lot of different companies that are wanting to do things, like the board about the things that I'm sitting out like. So we did have a software. I've been looking at it for the I was engaged.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jake, for having me. Yeah.
I have like the nice after clean and have the little raising, you know, so yes, it's have both of them, so before you walk to our house and then like. They don't work with the doctor because we're just. All the clutter and. Oh, really? He's very much like that, and I'm like, he's really has milestones on every day. I would pick up on those things that he does. But, like, I was from home now. What can I do? And I actually have thought of some weird and so it's kind of, it's more like, I'm not having a book.
Okay, let me grab you one.
On tonight, which was what a nonprofit would have been. And not just economic. The reason why I want to do it is because I started cooking and the only place I could play it is. And my doing one of my sons, like we can go outside. And when I think of that, you know, still I want to but I think like what I make is but yeah, and then we just do the and a lot of
So that's what I think right now.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Like,
I talked to
it is so fun there.
and actually, this is so fine.
And I.
As in the right original conversation, we will be around the word, now regulatory.
But I like that you don't walk in and they're like, read this big proposal. Oh,
Yes. Security department. Yeah, they come down in a lot
But
of.
I very much like that. There's not people.
Yeah, and then, so that is, that when we make it together,
Like not letting, pass this. And get them right by the. Yeah. Was it the rock climbing one, or the other one down? Where the. There's a rock climbing wall now.
Yeah, but it's like, it's hard, you have to say, yeah.
Well, you can run right. So they.
Yeah.
Or.
Not like I mean, like, no, that was. We just. Yeah, it's like.
It's fine, but if they put it there, like. And he said, I've been telling the last year their program, where it's like,
Yeah.
you know how easy it is for young people to put issues into the minority, like just one, and for one kid to die, and work for this, what does that do for the rest of us? I did tell my, but because I was like, I like to love that one. I very much like my kids, I'm like, hey, this is your reward. Because I get to also break them down.
Because if nobody speaks up, nothing for nothing.
That's what we get. Exactly.
You know,
And so that, you know, I.
yes. So I It's just you, I change it. I'm gonna wonder when you guys are gonna be out. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna use managers. Parking lots. And I make the rules for my. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Right now, I've been to the.
And then
They're all. And, they're.
And I'm like,
You know.
I didn't know. So I did like a little bit of that. Then I did that. So you get a section there and then, yeah, don't. But I don't see. I will try to make it, but I have a total.
Oh,
Why?
why?
Oh, I don't wanna go there.
Uh,
Yes. I mean, I have to make like a ride out of the clock. Because I have to be in. But I was like, I don't think I see you.
Yeah.
Oh, so. But,
The community, I know that. Are. We have a lot. But I think. I don't know. Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to do the work, you know. Yeah, because we're, you know, that'll benefit our state, which is,
This one like. No, she wants to get that.
like.
Oh, it's just, yeah. Yes. So I'm trying to help worry.
And then it's like,
So that.
you know, I'll. It'll be kind of hard to like. That goes shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
The one that we're here.
Yeah, yeah, for that.
When I had talked about that spot, I want to move in. Brother-in-law.
I know, I feel you, because I was out milking now, like, it's my, I walk right now, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I love it, they were here, right, and then I like followed them on Facebook, and then I was like, we're sorry to say that, but that was about to hire you, like, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Yeah, and then.
Yeah. One of my friends is supposed to go to oil stuff. What am I doing? Another time, this is so old. I think I'm like 2-year-old, I was like, what?
I know. My family. But I will never, ever live it because.
Yeah, when I went, it was